my name is Zoe. I am the Gypsy Psychic, and today we're going to talk about how to balance your crown chakra. So this is the last video in the chakra balancing series. It's important to remember that balancing your chakras is a journey, it's not a destination. And it's about constantly looking within yourself and asking yourself how your energy is doing. Checking in with yourself every single day and evaluating what you need to work on and whether you need to reassess and balance out your chakras. So it's not a perfect picture by all means. And that is very important to understand when we're talking about the crown chakra, because your crown chakra isn't just another energy center like the other chakras. It is a portal. It's located right up here. The crown. And a lot of people confuse the third eye chakra with the crown chakra, which is very important because they're not the same thing. They are connected, yes, but they're not the same thing. When that portal is open, it creates a connection to spirituality. Call it what you want. You can call it enlightening or awakening or spirit, whatever. It is very different for everyone. I am very practical in my approach to the chakras. You may have noticed this in my previous videos, how I compare them to Maslow's hierarchy of needs pyramid thing. And that's because they are very practical, and I use them as a way to really evaluate and balance out my energy. I think they're a very powerful tool out of many to find more balance and really connect with yourself. And I don't believe your crown chakra is the only way to access your psychic abilities, but I do think it's helpful to heal it, and that is very important. And here is the key to balancing out your crown chakra. The crown chakra can only truly be healed when the rest of your chakras are balanced. So the problem is that most people, they want to balance out their chakras and they start focusing on meditation and all the spiritual side of things, and they don't actually take the time to balance out their other chakras first. And like I said, you have to go up in order to do this. You can't just pinpoint one chakra at a time at random that needs focusing on. No, because you need each one to be functioning, and you need to constantly be reevaluating and working on each one in order to achieve that spiritual side of things. So a lot of people will go into this and they'll say, okay, I really want to balance my chakras. I'm just going to focus on my crown chakra. And they don't have the other ones worked out. So your root chakra, for example, is what grounds you. It anchors you, right? And so when you're so focused on an out-of-body experience or your spirituality without being anchored, it can really create some nasty side effects. There's this new age belief, and even I have fallen for it at times because it makes a lot of sense in ways, that we must detach from our ego and our ego mind. But the ego is a major part of us. And we actually learned a lot about the ego when we talked about the previous chakras and what they represent. And so when you avoid your ego and you want to detach from it, it's actually ignoring other chakras in your body. So what they're actually doing is creating a very unhealthy relationship with their ego instead of detaching from it. It doesn't just like go away. So it's actually not a good thing because it never really goes away. It's always there. In fact, you'll find that a lot of these gurus who claim to be detached from their ego are actually more egotistical. They're like some of the most egotistical people you have ever met. And they're very self-centered. And it's all about me and self-love and being above everyone else in a certain way. And they act like there's a spiritual hierarchy. I mean, claiming to be enlightened or egoless is pretty rooted in the ego, if you ask me. And it does show a pretty unhealthy kind of relationship with yourself to an extent. And they demonize this part of themselves. And if you're watching and you feel like this is so untrue, you know, I mean, I challenge you, I challenge you, and I want to hear your comments, because chances are they will probably sound like pretty self-centered or egotistical, or, having an unhealthy relationship with your ego. The minute we try to detach from any part of ourselves, it means that we're not really centering ourselves, and we're not fully integrating all parts of ourselves, which is really what spirituality is about, right? It's learning to live with all these parts of yourself and learning to, experience life. And a lot of that has to do with self-acceptance. But spirituality is all about, experience. It's how you experience it. And no one can tell you what spirituality is but yourself, really. So it's kind of like a catch-22. And you often see people who are super spiritual or enlightened, or they had some kind of spiritual awakening, acting very loopy or high. And I have met multiple people in my life like this. Let me know if you have too. Chances are you have, where these people are they just don't seem like they're present. You know what I mean? And they claim that they are kind of, there's all this talk about the body being a vessel and the collective consciousness. But a lot of the time, that's because they actually get very carried away and forget to deal with the rest of their lives and balance the other chakras. They're so detached from reality, sometimes they call it the matrix, that others can't really relate to them anymore or truly connect with them. Believe it or not, you can meditate too much. You can do too many psychedelics or plant medicine journeys. You can get lost. And that's what your root chakra is for, and your solar plexus, and your sacral chakra, all these different areas of your life. That's what they're for. They're so you don't get lost. Now, personally, I believe psychic abilities are separate from the crown chakra. But here's the thing, you don't need to focus on the crown chakra. Like I said, it's a portal. Because when you balance the other chakras, then your crown chakra naturally opens up. And that is the secret. There is nothing wrong with believing in something bigger than yourself. And I talk about chakras as a tool, and that is a very new agey thing, because spirituality is not meant to be used. It's something that's already within all of us. Using your chakras and your knowledge about your chakras to heal is fine. There's nothing wrong with that, as long as you acknowledge that it's actually a new age belief and it isn't what spirituality is, because you're already a spiritual being. And your experiences are what will shape your connection to spirituality. The crown chakra is not meant to be awakened. It will awaken in its own time. If you're focusing on your energy and your other chakras, your crown chakra will do its own thing. And so you don't need to focus on trying to awaken it, trying to connect. And I think that's where we get really carried away. There is no spiritual hierarchy. You are not above anyone else. Just have some faith in yourself and whatever calls to you. Believe in yourself above all. The other problem with trying to open up your crown chakra before it's ready is that you might experience some serious side effects, like headaches, dizziness, sleep problems, emotional ups and downs, mood swings, instability, shock waves, nausea, fatigue. It can look like a lot of different things. The sad part is the spiritual community normalizes this. They act like it's a good thing, like it's normal to experience all these physical problems and awaken your psychic senses, like they're very backwards about it. It's total bullshit, guys. Like, you do not need to go through all of that physical pain or whatever you're experiencing. If that's the case, there's something wrong. It's not normal. This is what happens when you try to fuck with your crown chakra. And it's not okay. When things are flowing properly, you shouldn't experience any of these symptoms. There are many different ways to tap into your energy and release your energy without causing these problems. It should feel easy. It should feel natural. I'm so tired of people saying that, you know, going through these emotional whirlwinds is a good thing. Like, if suffering is not a good thing. You shouldn't have to suffer to awaken your spiritual side. You know, like, you shouldn't have to. That's forcing it, and it's not good. I'm tired of people trying to go through all this trauma and release trauma and do trauma work in order to access their crown chakra. It's the worst. So it's really important that you trust yourself. You know, trust how you feel. Trust your energy. Don't let anyone else tell you whether you are going through something normal or not normal. Like, you know deep down. And when you are well balanced and you're living a life that is where your energy is just flowing, you will know, and it shouldn't be difficult. You should be able to sense when something feels wrong or unnatural. If you're experiencing symptoms, it's important to seek professional help. Just remember, be gentle with yourself. Remember that you don't have to focus so much on your crown chakra. It will happen. You're a spiritual being already. And, you know, just focus on yourself, live your life, focus on being happy, living, you know, a fulfilling existence, and focus on your own bubble, your own energy. Don't worry so much, okay? So a lot of people watching this might not agree with all this. I would love to hear your take on, you know, the crown chakra, the crown center. I would love to hear more in the comments section below. And let me know how you've been doing with your chakra balancing. Also, subscribe to my channel, please. And goodbye. Cheers.